I can hear you.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It was on Discord. Right, good evening. Not Discord, on the blooming OBS. Right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Winter 26 Army Cycling eRace series. Tonight, once again, I'm back, your host, Kevin Ozzy Osborne. I've got Ray McCarthy as well with me. Say hello, Ray, for everyone.
Hi.
So yeah, we're back again for a bit of TT action on the Army Cycling eRace series winter. So yeah, we've got a 4-round series for this one this time, just for the month of February. We start with the ITT because we just felt with the ITT we've got a little bit more of a truth of people's abilities. So that's why we're going to start with this wonderful ITT today on What's the Limit, a new course that we've got on Zwift. I am following people, which is a good start. So that is wonderful. We're just going to zoom out now. So yeah, we've it's a mass start today as well. So everyone, regardless of category, will be starting at the same time. No draft. Everyone's on a TT bike. No draft. So it is all about the person's ability and not relying on their Zwift craft to get around this course today. Let me change that. Good stuff. But yeah, so off we go.
Numbers. 15 riders is great numbers.
Yeah, 115. So yeah, we've got into the treble figures today, which is wonderful to see. But yeah, as we're starting then, so we're just watching Ant not currently on the screen. Unfortunately, we can't do 2 screens today. The Zwift update seems to have been causing a bit of dramas on the computer, so we just got one today, but that's fine because it's an ITT as well. We can just move up and down the field, see who we're watching, see how they're doing, and yeah, go from there. We should be roughly between 45 to an hour in total for this ITT, depending on the categories. But yeah, it's an interesting course for sure. Actually, Ray, do you want to talk to us through the course? Because I know you actually was quite keen to do this one, wasn't you?
Yeah, well, I say keen to do it. I've rode this one twice. This was part of the new update in and around Christmas to New York, and it's basically an out and back. So you head out, you go over the Manhattan Bridge, and then you come back over I'm going to say it's not the Brooklyn Bridge because it's not Brooklyn to New York. Borough, I think. I'll double check in a second. But you basically go over the 2 separate bridges. You'll see the center point. It's a nice big turnaround point. It's like a big roundabout, and then you come back. Now, this course is all about the escalators. There is 6 escalators on this course. Now, the escalators very different than anything else that's on Zwift, and they are limited. So it doesn't matter how hard or how fast you go up the escalator, they're powered, so they'll push you all up at the same speed. So it'll be interesting to see how some people tackle that today. And I think a bit of a showing straight away. So Ed CW is pushing out in front. He's an Army TT rider from the Army TT team. So this is definitely much in his wheelhouse. He is out in front, and at the minute we're in the park. We're going to push through the park a little, then through Times Square, and then kind of over the bridges. So a bit of an interesting course. It's definitely lumpy. And it's going to cause a lot of splits, I think.
No, I agree 100% there. Yeah, so it is this about the escalators. Some of us rode this actually last week as part of the Wednesday social Army Cycling Wednesday social sports afternoon. So yeah, yeah, I was on that course, and yeah, the escalators are definitely yeah. It means you can't get into that rhythm. You find yourself, getting on flat for a piece, and then you've got to be having to attack the climbs. Now, obviously, with the draft, you kind of have that benefit. You can recover in the pack with the draft, because this is going to be all down to the individual. Definitely will find that you're not going to have that luxury for sure.
And it's really interesting, the ITTs on Zwift, when they're not individual pens where you're going off at separate time gaps, because you try to get into your rhythm, but here's a mass start and everyone starts together and you forget you don't get any draft. So you've just got to remember to kind of get into your groove and don't just constantly try and chase the person in front, because it might end up blowing up a little bit later on with it.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. It's very hard. Yeah, when you're in that mass start situation where you wanna be going hard at the start, but then yeah, you may suffer later on if you don't pace yourself well. So yeah, well, here we go. We've got a few people anyway that's heading their way down into the kind of subway part of the new course now. And they will be
a new thing to Zwift, I'll just jump in there, Ozzy, where we're about to come up to it, is these power zones. So as you go under this second tunnel here, it's like a start and a finish, and it'll record what your average power is between the two ends of these tunnels. I think they brought it in as a little bit of a rather like an individual segment as such, but I don't think they're particularly popular at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. I've seen these, and I don't. Yeah, you know, power is something that's individual to that person. You know, and some lighter riders aren't going to be able to get the max power, are they? And therefore, you know, all right, they might be challenging just themselves, but it's very hard to kind of race that with peers, because yeah, everyone's power output will be slightly different depending on their build and stuff like that as well. But
so
it looks
on this
good.
one, it was just 100 meters long, and it is just it's basically like a 5-second burst. But I don't think anyone on a TT is going to be going for it today.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. Like I said, you don't want it to. Now, we have thrown in, though, talking about people going in hard. We have thrown in on this ITT, though, some fastest through segments, so people will score for their fastest time. Earlier on, we did see, actually, Russ Miller out of the saddle and putting in some hard watts, because he's aiming for the sprint competition, it would look like. So, yeah, so for the... For this course, we have included 3 segments where where it will count for sprint points. So that's the New York Sprint, which is the first one. Then they've got the Manhattan Sprint Reverse and the Manhattan Sprint itself. So some riders may decide and may choose to kind of go hard for them parts. Again, it's a kind of a balance between, you know, what is your competition today? Is it going to be about getting the fastest time? Are you looking for GC, or are you going to be looking for the sprint competition? Or, you know, but equally, you could be going for the points tally. And again, a few good points on the sprint segments may help you knock up or go up in the sprint competition as well. Which kind of, I guess, leads me on actually quite nicely with regards to these competitions that we've got throughout the series. So we do have the points competition, like I mentioned. So because it's a 4-race series, this one, normally when we have 6 races, it's going to be 3 races, but we always just pick half of the amount of races to count for. So for the points competition, it will be your 2 highest scores out of the 4 races will go towards that. You've also got then the GC competition, which is the general classification. For those that are new to this concept, then essentially it's the fastest time throughout all 4 races. That, you know, your time will be added up and the fastest time will be counted, or the fastest time will be the winner. If people miss a race, then how we work it is we'll give them the slowest time in the category that they're racing in. Then we have the sprint competition. So there will be segments throughout all the courses where fastest through segment counts, fastest through being, you know, how fast you can go through there. And again, you'll be ranked based on your category and your time. You'll gain points for that. The KQOM competition. So certain courses will be sprint stages. Certain other courses will have climbs in them. So that's where the climbing part comes in for the KQOM competition, where people again will be ranked on their fastest time, depending on that. And that's it for the kind of the individual competition. We also then have the core competition. So core being the, you know, infantry, REME, RLC, Royal Artillery, in-corps, the medical corps, etc., etc. So, I think 10 cores in total. Individuals, then the top 7 scores across all the categories will go towards that core competition then as well. So, and then they get ranked, and then the winner is whoever scores the highest throughout all 4 races. So yeah, that's kind of the competition element throughout this. Now, people may be riding it for the competition. Some people will be just riding it for the challenge and getting involved. So yeah, but it always brings that nice little bit of flavour having a bit of a competition. But yeah.
Yeah, so we're back into the subways as such at the moment, and we're about to come up to the second lot of power zones again. This is not really something that anyone's going to be competing with, but out in front it looks like Ed CW is joined by Dickie Hibbert. They've got a little 4 second gap to B Campbell, and then that's going further back to 8 seconds to the European cyclocross champion Simon Hale and his retirement year. So he is now competing in this as a veteran for the first time. So congratulations on your retirement, Si. And he's joined by Will Blunt. And just behind him, Mike Goff. So there's some punchy riders in that kind of front group coming through now.
Yeah, so yeah, nice shout out there to Si Hale, yeah, the European cyclocross champ there. Yeah, brilliant effort. What a career he has had. So yeah, it's great that he's still getting involved. Yeah, he's a good bloke as well. You know, really good guy as well. So it's great to see him on here. Yeah, we've got Will Blunt then, and like you said, Mike Goff. Mike Goff being one of the kind of key favourites throughout this this series. Anyway, he's always kind of putting a good show in, and has always been someone up the front, either at points or GC. So it'll be interesting to see what how he is, how he's performing. I'll be honest, I'm surprised to not see him at the front. Normally that is his position, but it's good to see that there is some good competition around him. Let's just see, who's got the legs for this course. Like I said, it is quite an attritional course. 30Ks is a long time trial, but we've probably, hopefully, some riders may even get an FTP increase after this ride today.
Yeah, and that's the lead riders now in the group have now just done they've just come up the escalators and they're starting towards the Manhattan Bridge now. Now it's not a particularly taxing climb. It's not very steep. It's like kind of between 3 and 5%, and it's a couple of K. It's not very long. I think it's just under 2K. But it's one of those ones that it just seems to go on forever, because once you get over the first bump, you can kind of see the finish banner for a long time on it.
Yeah.
But we've got the front two who will be hitting it very, very soon.
Yeah, actually, you can probably see it if on screen now. Actually, they are coming up to the kind of arch that kind of identifies that start of that climb bit of the bridge as well. So yeah, and it does. Yeah, again, going from the experience of last week, that climb does seem to go on, even though it's not a steep climb compared to the other climbs that are out there on Zwift. It definitely, it definitely is sapping on the legs, and seeing that banner out of the archway where it kind of signifies the top of it. Yeah, it does seem to go on forever. I do have to agree with you there.
Yeah, and it looks now like Ed's putting the power down a little bit and getting a slight gap from Dickie a bit there. And this is the part now where, as you go around the bend, you can just see the bridge in the distance, and it just seems to go on and on. But this is also the Manhattan Sprint, so
Yes.
we'll be coming up towards the sprint point for the Manhattan Sprint in a minute. So it's nice that they've got a sprint going uphill.
I know. They are probably very grateful for that. Actually, maybe let's see if we can find old Russ Miller and see if we might be able to get an understanding on what Russ's intention is, if I can find him, because I'm sure. Here we go. There's Russ, just behind Craig Scott, in fact. With Ant Allnut as well. A few names that are synonymous in the racing side of life. They do like to take part in not just the ACeRS, but the community races. So the Zwift Racing League, for example, on a Tuesday night. These riders are regulars on that scene as well. So yeah.
Yeah, and Russ has recently just done phenomenal in the Flamme Rouge Racing Series as well. He's always enjoyed doing those kind of 8-day races with just one rest day in between. So quite attritional races, and Russ did pretty well on that.
Yeah, I did one. Still, no, it wasn't last year. It was 2 years ago now. Actually, thinking back, I took part in one of the Flamme Rouge race series, and yeah, you're right. It is really attritional. However, yeah, you do have that sense of achievement at the end of it for sure. That you have, and you do find yourself fitter for it as well. Ironically, I suppose. Of course you would. But you know what I mean. Even after feeling all that fatigue in your legs and that, you do find yourself feeling, much better for it.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm getting a little bit of FOMO at the minute watching these. I wish I probably should have joined them, if I'm honest. But I'm glad I didn't, because my legs are like lead at the minute, and I need to rest them for tomorrow's ZRL. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to complete the series this time because I'm moving house. I'm going to miss one of them. So kind of didn't feel like it was worth putting all the eggs in the basket on GC if I wasn't going to be able to see it through.
Fair enough. Well, I suppose if you're free, you can always join me on comms talking through, so people don't have to just listen to my boring tones. Oh, good. Right. So looking through anyway, I'm just got. I'll bring up Zwift Power currently. Hopefully that will work. Boom. There we go. So just got an idea anyway of kind of the riders. You'll notice there we've got some ACats. So actually, quick one. Ross Miller is. I'll kind of quickly switch back to Ross. There he goes. He was just putting a bit of a dig in. You can see him putting some strong watts per kilo. So he's definitely trying to go for that sprint competition there. He doesn't have to worry too hard with the leaderboard on the left-hand side because that is only, I think that's only for the A categories that's focusing on at the moment. But he's racing currently in the B cat. So you'll find that actually he may have scored well in his category. But yeah, moving back onto the Zwift Power, just so we get an idea of who we've got and the list of riders we've got today. So yeah, the ACats currently predominantly looking like they are in where they should be for them. Then Bs and with a few Cs mixed in, and we've got quite a healthy number, like I said, just over 100 riders there, all on the board. Is wonderful to see. All mixed abilities, both for the open and the female competition. So yeah, it's a good turnout today for sure.
Yeah, and that's so the lead rider now, Ed, has dropped into the subway again. So he's coming up towards what would be the turnaround point. So as he goes through this next bit of subway, you'll do the escalators at the end, and then there's just a little bit of an incline up to a large roundabout, and then that'll spin him round and send him back the way he came. And I think the climb, the Manhattan Bridge climb from the opposite direction is a little bit cheekier, right? And not by much, but I think it's a little bit steeper coming back the other way.
Yeah, no, I think you're right there. Right. I definitely, looking at the profile in front of me anyway, I would have to agree with you. But yeah, so we're just working our way through the rest of the pack at the moment, just picking out a few individual riders. Sucha took there, riding the female category. Who else we got? Jay Hill. He's sporting an RA jersey there, so I have to give a shout out to any Royal Artillery guys. They are riding for the corps that I'm part of, so it's good to see. Actually, I believe Jack rode a few of the Wednesday socials, and then has reached out and asked to, what's the deal with the ACeRS. So this is his first outing for the series, so I'm sure he's grateful for the ride that we've got for him today.
Yeah, and I'm really surprised with the size of the turnout for it being a Monday, because I know it's quite, the race calendar at this time of year can be really, really compact. And with Zwift Racing League being on a Tuesday night, sometimes you get a lot of people kind of sitting out on a Monday. But 115, that's phenomenal numbers for a Monday night.
No, agreed. Yeah, and you're right. Yeah, it's kind of one of them that you definitely you kind of, for those hardcore Swifters, they may decide to actually sit out certain races and that. So for people that are still getting involved, and I know that some of these names that are on the track today are taking part in tomorrow's Zwift Racing League as well. So they are definitely putting themselves in the locker for the next 2 days for sure. Anyway, so they'll probably be grateful for a Wednesday off, no doubt. So who else we've got as we're working our way down? Yeah, actually, Craig's won. Actually, in fact, a DCAT rider that is racing in tomorrow's race. I know that because I have sent him the link. Who else we got? Let's work our way back up the pack a bit, shall we? Tessa Muir, Neil Herbert there.
The lead two are now going to the slight incline to the turnaround point. So what we should start seeing as we're looking at riders is we'll see some riders coming in the opposite direction as well. And this again is like a little bit like the bridge climb. It is just seems to go on forever until you get this roundabout. But this roundabout, it's a little bit like the Paris roundabout. It's very, very big and looping, but it does have like a bit of an arc de triomphe at the top kind of thing. And then you spin back round and you can kind of see all your competitors. I don't know if it spurs you on or disheartens you when you see people going in the opposite direction.
Probably spurs you on if you're at the front. Probably less so when you're kind of in the middle of the pack. But yeah, so
yeah, and these two are doing phenomenal. They might get round the loop and see what will be possibly third place by the time they get back round because they've got a 23-second gap on Mike Goff and Will Blunt. So it looks like B Campbell's dropped off a little bit. He was in this group earlier and he's back down into 5th place. And he's joined by Cy Hale, so he's in good company there. And even though, like I say, you can't get any draft off someone, sometimes riding alongside somebody else just might make you put that little bit more effort out to stay with them and aid with your pacing a little bit.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, you do sometimes find
so
it.
Looking
Yeah.
at,
cool.
Yeah, looking at the map, it doesn't look like they're going to see third place. It looks like quite a few riders are coming through at the same time. So we've got some B's and A's coming through.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, but you're right there when it comes to having someone to ride with. Once you kind of find yourself in a bit of a routine, or granted, this course isn't ideal for that kind of routine with the lumps, but however, you do find that once you kind of set yourself in and you kind of are with a rider, it's a bit like when you're on like the old PFAs and that, isn't it? You kind of all go crazy at first, and then you kind of find yourself with someone that maybe is of same ability and that, and then you're like, right, I've got to keep with this person now. And you both kind of, you're not talking to each other yet, you're still riding, running or riding hard, or as and you don't want to be the person that drops back first. You know what I mean? So it is kind of that mentality you do find that when you're in this kind of situation now, where you do have a couple of riders around you of kind of same ability, you don't want to be the first person that drops back.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. But that's the turnaround done now by the lead two, and they're heading back. They're back in the subway, so they're riding past everyone, going in the opposite direction now. Which again, probably great confidence boost for them. They just need to be careful not to put the hammer down too much because there's still quite a bit of climbing to do. But I notice on your screen there's someone with what we've nicknamed the toilet paper socks.
Yeah.
For what people don't know is these Zwift Aero socks. If you complete the factory tour, you get them, and they're the only wearable in Zwift that has any kind of benefit. So you can put whatever helmet you want on, whatever jersey you want, but these socks actually give you an aero advantage, even though it looks like you're dragging toilet paper on your shoes.
So yeah, definitely a flex moment there, isn't it, for sure? And a benefit as well.
Big flex.
But yeah, that's a quite a long time, because I mean, yeah, to get to that point on that challenge, it's a bit like getting the Tron bike as well. It's a lot of hours on the trainer to get to that point. So yeah.
So like you mentioned earlier, this is a bit of a shorter series, isn't it? It's a four race series, starting with an ITT, which is a little bit different for us, isn't it?
Yeah. So we had an ITTs a few years ago, and then when it moved to Swift Racing School, we kind of we took out the ITT. But yeah, you're right. But now it's back again. We've brought it back for this series to see how it looks and see if it helps kind of balance the fields out a bit more, because we appreciate that a lot of riders from the army side anyway, like, aren't seasoned veterans, like, so therefore their Swift racing score may not be reflective of their true ability, and that's not throwing shade at people and saying that they should be on Swift more, because we all have lives and we all have our own goals. So with the idea of this individual time trial, it may be potentially, hopefully, will kind of help sort things out, but hopefully give a true reflective of people's abilities, and therefore people might find themselves moving up and down categories after this race, which is fine. And again, that's why this time trial as well is the same for everyone, because that way then all we need to do is move them people into their respective category, and there's no penalty there, but there is no kind of consequence of that. People can just move to their true category as per the Swift algorithm, and then they go from there, and then that's it. So yeah, it's a bit of a trial for this one. We're going to see how it plays out, and yeah, like with anything, we've got to trial and experiment to try and improve things. We can't always keep on the same format. So yeah, it is. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, we'll see how it pans out. I'm sure we'll get some feedback, both positive and negative, no doubt. But yeah.
Yeah, and and you've had them as well as I. We've had a lot of questions about TT bikes over the last few days, and ultimately, the decision was made for this to be a TT, so therefore it is TT bikes only. Now, the thing with Zwift, which was brought in about 18 months ago, was bike upgrades, and you don't get to use your TT bike very often. So if you have used it and you've upgraded it, this is also an opportunity for your actual flex and put down the advantages that you've built up over time, and hopefully that'll pay off in the race.
Yeah.
The lead two now are coming back over the Manhattan Bridge now, and
I agree with that point. And it's kind of like almost like going to a real, say, an outdoor event, and someone having, and I know it's not all about the gear, but there is obviously benefits of having a couple of grams worth of bike against someone that's got a £500 worth bike as well. So it's kind of a little bit like that as well. If people have been able to put the time and effort in, and they should reap the rewards for it. And it's not trying to like give a handicap to those that can't, but it's we want to reward those as well that have got the ability to, or have achieved things on Swift as well. So yeah, we don't want to I want to say penalize anyone, but we're not planning to penalize anyone, but it's kind of similar, and that's how I see it. It's the same respect as someone outdoors that can afford a bike, and that's good, and all that. However, you go up against someone that hasn't got the money and has only got a cheaper bike. There is going to be slight benefits from having that as well. And we're only talking like fractional gains as well. We there are web apps out there that will show you kind of like the gains of having certain bikes and Swift on certain courses, and you can see in some cases we're only talking a couple of seconds in some cases where that's actually where the difference is, and still the person's still the pink fleshy part has still got to do something on that bike to be able to achieve the time or the race that they want to achieve.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it's only some of these is fractions over an hour.
Yeah.
And you're going to be doing just about an hour on this. So in some cases, it'll mean next to nothing. But on some courses with different bikes, it really does make a difference. And the example I'll give is, well, we can't do it in this race, but there are some courses where there is a lot of gravel in there, and an actual Zwift gravel bike will climb sometimes 20, 30 seconds faster than a standard bike. So, but luckily, we're not doing any of them in this series, so no one's got to worry about getting a Zwift gravel bike anytime soon.
No, agreed. But yeah. Shane Wilson there. He sent me an email the other day, some error on my end where he received about 100 plus emails, all confirming he registered for the series. He had a panic on because of it, but yeah, that's why I just laughed, because I saw his name and I remembered the email that I had from him on I think it was Friday last week. Video. Yeah. Right. Do you know what we'll do, actually, Ray? We will quickly talk about the autumn series anyway. I want to start showing off some of the things I've got ready. So, like we mentioned, we had the autumn series come up, where we had a 6-event series and that. I wasn't available to commentate, but Ray was wonderful in jumping in for us, and was able to commentate on a series, which was quite successful. So we're going to go through some of, hopefully, results anyway. We'll cover some of the results. So on the screen now, hopefully people can see, if you are watching, that we've got the A category up first there. So Kev Fowler was the overall winner there for the Signals. Dan Collins second, and then Chris Lane for the RA in third position there. But that's only some of the riders. We're not able to fit everyone in, but that's a good showing there from the A categories. And yeah, we had, let's say, Will Mead, Rob McEwen, an old vet. I was saying old vet, not an sorry, old-time Swifter veteran. Not if you are watching back, apologies. Yeah, so it's a few regular names into there as well.
And I think it was really like the A category was really, really tight up until race 5. So on race 5, Will Mead was out front by a long shot. And then unfortunately, his other sport took over. So he went skiing. So he didn't compete in race 6. So I think maybe he'll be coming back on the next series. I don't think he's in this one, but I think he'll be coming out in the next series to try and to win that.
Yeah, I think I've seen his Instagram and that, and yeah, I think he's still out in the snow. So moving on to then, living the dream. Moving on to the B Cats then. So yeah, Russ Miller, we mentioned him earlier on actually for sprinting, and I think that's possibly where actually he got a lot of his points from. Was in the kind of the going through the fastest through segments and working through them. Rob Ferguson then as well, second place, and then Dean Neville there for Royal Signals. So yeah, 2 infantry riders there, first and second with Dean Neville. What else we've got? Oh Christ, my eyesight's gone for a second there. Got Rich Frack, Matt Davis, another few regulars there on the Zwift scene. Shane Wilson, just mentioning John Grimsdale. Dan Ongley, I've noticed there as well. So yeah, another strong turnout from the B categories on the point side, and then moving on to the C cats. We've got Jim Cousins, Ben Pasela. Again, apologies if I butchered your name there, Ben. Chris, Carl. Again, I'm not going to try and butcher some of these names. But we've got, again, infantry Royal Signals, and there's a bit of a theme here. You've seen I mentioned a lot of infantry Royal Signal riders at the top end of these categories. Sam Miles there. He's one of the riders that are also a part of the committee. Moving on to the Ds, we had in the top spots then Ches Chester, John Bissett, and Michael Ashchurch. A few RSU riders there taking the top spot, and then we've got infantry again with then Richard Lakin for the Royal Signals. And then in the female competition then, actually, which we've got, I think, Angel Laycock actually on screen now as well. So yeah, Angel Laycock on screen, and she also took the first spot for the female competition for the Royal Engineers, and then Rosie Coe and Ibby Neville for the Royal Signals. So one actually to mention with the females, what we've done with rather than having them race on their own, but in a smaller condensed pen, we invited it to be that the females can race in whatever their Swift racing score category is. From that, they then get ranked on their category and then their time in that category. So if you're an A category rider, you will get ranked with the A categories first, and then B, C's, and D, so on, based off your time. And then they get scored from that. Okay, so that's how we work it with the females and that. So that way, then, they're still racing with people of likability. It may be with other females, or it may be with the open category. So that, and it seems to have worked. It seems to have been more popular that way anyway. So that's what we do there. I just want to also add as well that with the categories, there is a scoring system where if you are in A category, you do score better than you're in B, C, and D as well. So I think it's about a 20-point difference between each category and that. And what you find as well is people, when they do progress up a category, they tend to be they still seem to be scoring the kind of same in their new category anyway, unless it's an undersubscribed category. But with the way things are, it seems to work out okay at the moment. And then moving on to the core competition, then hopefully he says, if it brings up, boom, there we go. So in the core competition, then Royal Signals then took the top spot with the Royal Engineers and the Infantry in. And RLC, Christ, coming in fourth, Royal Artillery coming in fifth, Remy sixth, the Armoured Corps in sixth, AMS seventh, RCAM in eighth, AGC ninth, RAPTC 10th, INCOR 11th, and then the Army Air Corps in 12th. So, yeah, a good series, would you say, Ray?
Brilliant series, absolutely brilliant. I think what you mentioned, the female category did phenomenal, and especially I think the last race I covered, I'm not sure if it was the C cat or the D cat, but it was a female 1, 2, 3. And I managed to catch all three of them coming across the line throughout the race, and that was just kind of phenomenal just to see all of that in one go, so that it wasn't spread out of all the different races. But as a category, sorry, as a series as a whole, I thought it was a really good mixed bag of courses. Some people would turn up on one day and be phenomenal on the flat and not so good on the climbing, and then really, really good mix of riders coming through.
Yeah, and that's, we do try and make the courses as balanced as we can be, so that there is, there are flatter stages, there are lumpier stages, and there are hillier stages. So, we do try and mix it to try and give everyone their kind of, wherever area they're strong in, a chance to flex, to shine. And that obviously some people are, mixability, and they will just ride well throughout. But we do try and, let's say, balance it out across when it comes to the series and that. I'll say this one's slightly different, but what we've still gone with an ITT. Yeah, it's a little bit of a flat technical course for this one. Next week is a kind of more rolling. It's the figure of 8, so it's a rolling course with a mixture of flats and climbs. We then go back to a kind of a crit style circuit, so back into Times Square, so in the area that we're in now for a crit course. Going very flat with only a kind of small punchy up descent, and then we finish on like we always do on the series anyway. We always try and finish on a kind of epic climbing course, and I think for the first time we've gone with the Ven 10. So that's only 10 kilometers. Say only 10. People probably will hate me for saying only 10, but 10 kilometers up the Ven top course. So that one is going to be very attritional, but it's always we always try and finish on that kind of one, and it gives them kind of climbers then a chance as well if they have race amongst with the kind of pure wattage like sprinters and not maybe score necessarily so well. That's their chance really to kind of get them points back if all the time back depending on where they sit.
Yeah, and that's going to be in this series. That's going to be the only one I'm going to be able to race. I say fortunately, unfortunately, because of other stuff going on. So I'm quite looking forward to that, because I like to put myself in the hurt lock, and I've done quite well on that course in the past, especially for being a big guy. Yeah,
no, for sure. And again, it's that kind of, I guess for some riders, they'll maybe get an FTP increase or for this ride, and the Ven 10 is definitely one that can kind of give a good reflection of their FTP. For that 4-week period as well. So it is a kind of good a good marker as well to see how their ability has improved throughout this series.
I think race 3 is going to be interesting. It's going to be really good, I think. They won at Times Square. Having raced it yesterday, it seems flat on paper. But there's a lovely little rise every single lap, which I think is going to be very attritional. And you're just going to see people dropping off the back every single lap, and then eventually be left with a lead group in each of the categories to take out the sprint.
No, agreed for sure. Yeah, I have jumped on that Times Square course as well, and yeah, you're right. There is that little lumpy part just before the finish, which actually is going to make hopefully for a great finish as well, with that small rise before the sprint to the finish, to see what riders choose to attack a little early, and who can sit on and maybe reap the rewards from that.
So looking at it now, we've got Dickie Herbert, who's in the the park now. He has completed all of the claims, and he is coming through to the kind of finish straight. So this is still a little bit lumpy in here, even though I've said he's finished all his climbing, because it's an actual uphill finish to the finish line.
Yeah.
And it'll go over the New York Sprint. So you kind of come, and for those that have raced this course before, it's quite prevalent, this park, in the LaGuardia Loop. And this seems to be the start-finish point of the LaGuardia Loop. But as you go through now, it goes down a little bit, and then there's a nice little punch that goes up. And the sprint segment actually starts at the top of the climb. So if you burn yourself a bit too much on the climb, then you've got no legs for the sprint. So it's something you've got to balance out. But he's managed to pull 12 seconds out of Ed CW, which is no mean feat, no short task as such. But this is the climb I was on about. Nice little 5%er.
Yeah, nice 5%, just for the legs at the end. Agreed.
Just for the legs, yeah.
Yeah, where you can see Dickie's just going up over there now, and then down. You can just see on the screen there. There's the finish line there, and nearly 40, just over 40 minutes there for Dickie to finish the course, which is a very commendable time for sure. I'm going to just push back now before we cross the line so that I don't get jumped out of the game potentially. So got Ed coming in now. For a second place, gone for a little sprint, and then Mike Goff.
Just looking back, doesn't look like many groups have formed. It seems everyone's kind of spread out, which is unusual normally.
No, agreed. It's it does look a little bit spread. You're right. Well, as we go down though, we'll see who else we can find. So Mike coming in for third space there. So he actually started off. I think we saw him as 7th or 5th or something. It was quite. He was probably 5th, maybe even less. So he's again just kept powering on. He's got a nice engine on him, and it just keeps going and that. And he's managed to come past people that were started off quite way in front of him as he was going down. Same with actually Cy Howe. He's worked his way through again. Cyclocross experience definitely paying off for him there. Just only 3 seconds off the back of Ian Evans there.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Ian Evans myself. So Ian's on what is classed as the fastest bike on TT bike on Zwift, which is the KDX tri bike. It is absolutely rapid according to everything, but I don't have enough drops to buy that, so I wouldn't know. And then behind just behind Cy Hale's Dan Collins just coming through. Unfortunately, B Campbell, who was in the top 3 for majority of this, has dropped back a little bit, and it looks like he's coming across the line. And here's the Diesel himself, Rob McEwen's coming up now in 9th place. Rob's got the nickname the Diesel because he just keeps going.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I remember actually on the Monday Military Madness series, it was he was one that was definitely trying to challenge Mike Goff. Definitely one for always trying to give him a run for his money. So yeah, I agreed. Working down. So Russ Miller, see D Neville and Allnut. So just a few riders now coming around the back end of the course.
Yeah, so just looking at Russ has got the bug still. So for those that haven't really known about it, Zwift have had a bug lately where they've turned everyone into a triathlete and the socks have disappeared. So Russ has no socks on Zwift. But as soon as he updates his computer, he'll get his socks back.
Oh yeah, I read about that. That was made me chuckle. Ben Spittle there. Yeah, so the cadets try again. Nice flex.
Oh, there's a bit of a battle here between Matt Davies and S. Bent.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, they're fighting it out. And mind you, S. Bent has got no aero wheels on whatsoever. So I think he might have just jumped in the pen and jumped on the Zwift TT bike, but he's doing them all right because it's the engine that's on top of it.
Yeah, no, agreed.
But I don't think Matt Davis is going to let this go. I think he's closing in on him now, isn't he? There's only a 1 second gap with that little bit of a climb to go.
Yeah, I think I think he might just be saving some of the watts. So I don't know. 3.1. Yeah.
Or he's using the steering. That's always good if you've got it. He's steering into the corner to cut that extra few meters out.
Yeah, I've just clocked that as well. Yeah. Take the shortest route. 100%. Up we go.
It's going to be an exciting finish on an ITT. Didn't think we'd get one. Not seeing any orange numbers, so maybe not.
Maybe not. No, maybe not.
But still, there's only 1 second in it.
Yeah, no, only 1 second. I'll say only one. And there you go, up and over. I think Simon Bent's got the better of him there. Looks like it.
I think he has. Yeah, that was a close battle for the last K there, but I think he just let it go, didn't he?
Got Louis Darroch's here and Tom Chanel though closing in. And there we go. Rich Frack. Hopefully his legs will be holding out tomorrow. He's got, was it three laps of the cobble climbs?
Was he doing it with the C or Bs?
He's doing it with the Bs.
He's got 4.
Oh, I've got 3 tomorrow. Christ. Good job.
That 3, yeah, I've got 4 as well. So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely horrendous. Yeah, Chris Stewart there. We've got Dan Cross.
Just come through.
Dan Cross coming through. Coming close in again, 2 seconds.
Oh, there's a bit of a battle going on here with Old Evo.
Old Evo. Okay, let's see.
Old Evo is 59th, yeah. So you got Old Evo and is it Sean? I can't see what it is before.
Fine.
But there's 2 or 3 of them here together. It looks like they've coming up to the last part now. Oh, they're in the park. And they've got someone 4 seconds back as well who's closing in on them. So these 3 could be coming in together. Evo's at 58th position. So yeah, looking at 63. There we go. So 1 back.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go. And then I've got no doubt that Evo's going to be streaming this as well.
Yeah. Shout out to Evo. He streams every race he's part of. You get to see it from Evo's perspective, which is always good to see. So
and again, these 2, both of them are on the KDX Tri, so they've done some Zwifting to get that.
Oh yeah, no, and yeah, they are both veteran Swifters. I know them as well. Yeah, they have. But I think like Evo.
Jay Gibson not letting this go either. There's only 5 seconds spread between these 2, these 3 riders.
See, we got a little uphill. Oh no, we're going down the descent bit. Yep. So still not over yet. Still not over.
You can just see the finish banner at the top of the screen that they're going to come round to. But
yeah,
it looks like Evo's now and give himself a little bit more of a breathing room.
Oh, what's happened?
Drop out.
What's happened? Has he had a disconnect? Oh, come on, Evo. What's happened? Yeah. Maybe he knows. Maybe he knows that we're watching, and maybe he's doing it for.
But that's made things a bit more exciting, hasn't it?
Yeah, but that speed, he's lost the speed. Maybe he's done it. Maybe he's done it for that. Maybe he's done it for the finish. Because he's back in. He's back in.
He's got double streams on. He's got his and yours on, hasn't he? Oh, but he's back on the pedals now.
Back in now, and yeah, looking at the speed wise, he has. Oh, has he done enough? And you're right, Jay Gibson is closed in as well. 3 seconds.
Oh, I think these. we keep building it up to the
Yeah.
sprint finish, and they keep letting us down, don't they?
I don't blame them. I probably would let myself down as
No,
well.
it's a tough TT course, so to have a sprint at the end, you've got to be you've got to have been chilling for the rest of it, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you know, there is definitely no chance that I would have been up for a sprint at the end there. So so yeah, good work there from them guys anyway. And thank you, Evo, if you made it interesting on purpose, thank you. Got Pat Weir here, all-time favourite.
I think he's going to have a heart attack with a 200 beat.
Oh Christ, yeah, I've just
Heart
saw
rate.
that. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
but he's
I'm sure.
closing it.
I'm sure Pat will let me know his thoughts in a little while. So Neil Herbert there, just closing in on W.
Neil
Gray.
Herbert
Yeah,
back in infantry colours.
yeah, he's back in
After
infantry. Yeah, and there he goes up and
bit of
over.
a secondment to the RLC for a few years, and then he's back with the infantry now.
Back with the infantry. Yeah. So yeah, there's a few riders there. Who's that? They got past W. Gray and S. Williams. But hey, Gray's come back. I think Neil was. Yeah.
I think this was the sprint finish that we were going to get, wasn't it?
Also, but all riders here are actually coming in at a good time.
Oh, he's let us know already. 5 minutes
right.
lost trying to reconnect.
Got in. He's got it in there already. Thanks, Pat.
All being guilty of that. Having a bit of a disconnect.
All right there with M. Sutton coming up fast. See, look. Riders back here have made it more interesting. There's the riders at the front were boring. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And just behind them, bit of a shout out. We got Phil Carr, who's just behind them.
Yeah.
Phil does quite a lot on the social media side of things for the cycling. But also, since he's been cycling and Zwifting, I think he's lost over 10 kilos, which he just posted the other day. So well done, Phil.
No, I agree. Yeah, Phil is always he's always tagging us in on Instagram. He's always one for tagging us. The I'm Cycling eRacing Instagram account, letting us know what he's doing, and I'm sure there's probably one waiting for us to share at the end of this as well. Heartbreaking to see lots of riders pass before miles to go. That's probably why he's at 200. Then Pat has probably had to put a real good work in to try and get back in. Is that Kate Vincent there? I believe
Yeah, I think she had a bit of a good showing at the weekend on a crit race. I think she was top 3 on a crit race this weekend for the women's army team.
Good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw that on the socials as well. Yeah, very active there. We've got Richmond. Is that Richmond? Danny Richmond. Yeah, Danny Richmond there. He's Army Air Corps with the jersey there. Glenn Martin coming up and over. T. Robinson. Jack Hill.
You got Emma Price coming through.
Have I missed Emma? I think I have. Sue Tuk's come through now.
Yeah. 98th place at the moment. I think there's a handful of them in the same kind of area.
Yeah. Where am I at the moment? 93rd. Nearly there. I've lost her. Taking a while to catch up. Richard Hooper. S. Rose. Steve Rose. Oh, I'm grabbing a lot of people with RA jerseys. Not intentional, honest. Yeah, Mike Ashurst. Yes, Sue Chidduck. Just coming out. Is that 31? So she's done as well. I think I'm just grabbing a lot of people that have finished now. I think Amy Wadhams. That's who's this one? Lee Arnold. Oh yeah, Lee messaged about interest about getting in here. So yeah.
We've got a new rider on here. I think 99th place. Is it one of the new female riders? Is it Gemma McCleary?
It's Gemma riding today. Whereabouts? 98th, did you
Yeah,
say?
she's at 29k, 30k now, so she'll be coming up towards the finish line now.
See if I can find. Yep, she might actually be doing it on here. Gemma McCleary. Yep, there she is. She actually might be doing it on a what bike, I believe. She's from my unit, so I'm not entirely sure what her setup is, but she might be doing it on one of the gym what bikes, quite potentially. And yes, before you say, Ray, I should get a Zwift set up at the place where I'm working. Yeah. She's raced a few. She's rode a few.
You can use bikes.
Yes, you can, and it is a good example there actually. Oh, is there a bit of a delay there? I don't know. Yeah, so Gemma is actually a good example there. If she's using the gym watt bikes, it is a good example there that you can get involved. You don't have to be at home to do it. You can jump on a watt bike in your gym, connect to Zwift, and away you go. So yeah, it's accessible to a lot of people for quite all you got to do. Say all you got to do: pay for a Zwift subscription, have a heart rate monitor. Most people have a heart rate monitor now, and even on your smartwatches. And yeah, a device to play Zwift on, so you can even do it on your phone. So yeah, but it's good to see that Gemma is getting involved. Like I said, she rode a few of the the socials that we have on a Wednesday afternoon. So yeah, good to see.
And just on the heart rate monitor side of things as well, is before you go out and buy one, if you're new to this, is go and check with your PT Corps representative, because the Army does have MyZone, and MyZone heart rate monitors work on Zwift. So if you can get a hold of one of them for free or sign one out, and then it links up to all of the Army network on MyZone as well. So I know quite a few people that are using that at the moment.
Yeah, no, agreed. Yeah, so your local gym should be able to provide one. But equally for the series as well, though, we're not absolutely rigid when it comes to the heart rate monitor situation. If you're not able to connect, but you've got a device, I know, for example, Apple Watches are temperamental. You can, as long as you provide some evidence that you had, that you were active during the series, and even then, depending on what category you're in, we'll even give you one race grace and stuff like that. So for some riders, if they have not been able to achieve that, we're not going to be taking you off the series straight away or taking you off the results. We will be looking at each individual case and seeing like where we can reinstate and stuff like that. So yeah, 100% that it's not just a failure in the heart rate or no heart rate monitor is the be all and end all. We want to try and encourage riders to get involved regardless of your ability, to get you on a bike, get active, and with a bit of friendly competition. So yeah.
So we've still got a handful of riders coming through now.
Yeah, I've just got Matty Hurst, Laura Clark, I believe, there as well. It says 115. I don't know if we've got 115 on here. As soon as I
think we've got 113 because I'm in the pen and you're in the pen.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got so we've got like Andrew Bolton there, and then Andy Montier as well, a little bit further back. Is that right? Yeah. No, where the hell is he? That's not. Oh, he's on Times Square. There we go. That's where we are. I thought for some reason he was on the New York Com, and I was like, Christ, what happened there? Took a wrong turn.
Yeah, that was a little bit disappointing.
But yeah, so anyway, right, we're kind of getting close to the hour point now, so I think it is a good time just to go through the results provisionally before then we sign off for the day. So we will try to see if I can break this down into categories anyway. Like I say, these are provisional, subject to change, etc., etc., etc. So by all means, these are the results as they stand. And again, there will be a few changes if people haven't registered for the series, for example. Once we do the result processing, you may be taken off. If you're not an ACU member as well, that will also take you off as well. And again, the heart rate monitor thing. But again, if you're not on the results and you know that you're registered and you know that you're an ACU member, then just provide us your heart rate monitor details either to your core rep or directly to myself, and then we'll get them reinstated. And you can reach me on Facebook, on the ACU groups, or on the Discord channel and the likes. But yeah, so these are subject to change. So yeah, Dickie Hibbert coming in at just over 40 minutes there, with Ed in second and Mike Goff there third for the A categories. Will Blunt, Ian Evans, Simon Howe, Dan Collins, Brett Campbell, Rob McEwen. I don't know why there's no 10th place, but on the numbers, but Johnny Simpkins, let's say, is our 10th place there for the A categories. Looking at the Bs then, got Cy Ski, Russ Miller, Ant Allnut, Dean Neville, John Grimsdale, Andy Garth, Rob Ferguson, Ben Spittle, Simon Ben, Richard Frack there. Just an interesting looking at some of the times there. So Cy got in at 2 minutes over the time. That's 3:53. So it's about a minute, almost 2 minutes between first and second there. But again, early days, people can get back time for the GC competition with that. In the C Cats then, slightly closer, 4 seconds there between Shane Wilson and Carl Hagelberg. Chris Stewart third, Ben Pasela fourth, Andrew Thackeray fifth, Cy Harris there sixth, Angela Laycock for the females in seventh, Jim Cousin eighth, Andrew Kershaw eighth, Rich Barrett ninth, and Tom Dobson in 10th. Then moving on to the Ds then, we've got Neil Hibbert there first, with Tessa Moore second, James Littlewood third, Marty Gerard in fourth, Toby Robertson in fifth, Steve Rose in sixth, Rich Hooper in seventh, Mark Rivers in eighth, Carl Proctor in ninth, and Emma Price in 10th. And actually a good nice handful of D category riders in there as well. We did move the boundary slightly for the Zwift Racing score, and it seems to have done well with that. But yeah, the most populated one was definitely the C categories. Looking at the screen there, absolutely loaded with the C cats. Bs again, quite a healthy size, and then the A's as well, equal in size as well. So yeah, I think that's all from myself. Ray, would you like to add anything before we end the stream for tonight?
No, just some great racing. Look forward to watching next week, where it's a bit more pack dynamics and a bit more lumpy.
Yeah, agreed. And actually, I've put on the screen there. So if you want to get more information about the series, again, the links are on all the socials. But the I'm Cycling eRacing series, I have a Google site. Jump on there. You'll get access to all the race passes for the upcoming series. You will get the results once they get published. I'll put the autumn series on just so that people can see it. So hopefully once it loads up, you'll get to see kind of the results. You can filter them out and stuff like that. If you're unsure as well regarding your actual whether or not you're registered and all that kind of stuff, we do have a rider search, which is a new feature that I've put on here, where you can actually type in your name. So I'm just going to do me, for example, Osborne there. So it's telling me verified, giving me a Swift ID, and a few little other good bits and bobs there information wise. So you can find out straight away whether or not you're an ACU member. Your Swift ID, which is always another good point where it comes to fault finding why your results aren't on there, is potentially your Swift ID isn't matching what you've registered to what the truth is on Swift. Again, if you're having trouble with that, reach out to your core reps or myself and we can help direct you. And I think that's about it for people as well that are new, completely new novices, and they want to learn a bit more. You can find out more about the series on the news site, and how to get involved, which has got a few handy videos as well, including actually pairing it up with a watt bike as well. So yeah, once again, thanks for watching. Thank you for riding if you're watching back. Thank you for just your time. Hopefully we'll see you all again next week for the figure 8 course. Like I said, a bit more of a tactical race with the draft packs. It should be a good race for sure. So yeah, that's it from me. That's Kevin Ozzy Osborne signing off, and we have Ray McGarvey as well joining us tonight, which I'm much grateful for. So yeah, everyone, have a good evening, and we'll catch you all very soon. Goodbye.